gotta fight to win. Fight to win. Fight to win. I'ma say it again. You gotta fight to win. Fight to win. It ain't over till it's over. It's about to begin. I'm so dedicated.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Endie Fiya's Monday Motivation. This is your man Causso, the My Struggle is My Strength motivational speaker. Hope that everyone is doing well. Hope that everyone is, staying safe and staying in the house. Seriously, please stay in the house. While you're in there, take the time to call somebody. Check up on them, FaceTime them. You can video chat other video streams and just see how they doing. You dig? Before we get started, I'd like to thank Endie Fiya for giving me this opportunity to speak. You can tune into her show at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for music, entertainment, news, and daily inspiration for everyone. You can go to Blog Talk Radio /Endie Fiya. That's ENDIE. Fiya is FIYA. Check it out, guys, and tell them the Causso sent you. This week is tier 2 of our Overcoming Adversity series. And if you missed week 1, we started off with tier 1 of pain in our Overcoming Adversity series. And I don't have time to recap. I highly suggested that you go back and listen. Because these weeks they build upon the next. So go back and listen. I dropped some jewels. I dropped some good tools, some things that you can use, and you can go back and you can listen to it on Blog Talk Radio /Endie Fiya. All right. Here we go. In tier 2 of our Overcoming Adversity series, we'll be focusing on perspective. Life adversities, difficulties, and changes happen in between the things that you have planned, right? Like right now, even on a global scale, we are dealing with adversity. Now, when adversity pulls up on you with no warning, when things start coming against us and stuff that starts happening out of the blue, you may not understand at that moment, and it may break down your door with a battering ram. So how do you respond? Do you complain? Whenever we rely upon our own strengths and our own understanding, our own knowledge and our own talents and even our own words, and when we try to rely on things that only come from our point of view, we are really misinterpreting what's going on. We really don't get a realistic picture. We get a skewed, a kind of like a distorted picture. And this is simply because you're looking at it through your own lens. You see, adversity is about perspective. So what we have to do is we have to step back and see the big picture, because it is how we analyze what happens to us rather than what really has happened to us, where you really get to see the big picture. When I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, MS, it was a huge adjustment. I didn't understand it at the time. I didn't get it. It didn't make any sense to me. Nobody in my family had it. It wasn't until I stepped back and I looked at it and I pondered and I asked myself, what opportunities are being presented as a blessing in disguise? What is this telling me? Is this showing me ways that I can improve? Like, what am I supposed to learn from this? It's important that you do not become a victim of your circumstances. Do not let the situation define you. It doesn't matter what it is. You can come from a broken home. You can be a quadriplegic. Maybe you have gone through a divorce. It doesn't really matter. Many people, they take on the victim mentality, and they get caught up in feeling sorry for themselves and start complaining about what happened. They don't like, how hard it is. But you don't have to let the situation define you. You should ask yourself the question: what is it that I can do? How do I respond to this? You have to shift your focus on what you can do and not what you can't. Because that's what I had to do. I had to ask myself the question: what can I do to improve this situation? I discovered that through the roller coaster of my MS journey, it wasn't really about what I lost. It wasn't about losing my ability to do things that I could easily do before my diagnosis. It was about embracing the new reality and having an attitude of gratitude and being grateful, and to stop having this, entitled mindset. Most people, they don't understand that there is more than what they really realize. Sometimes, you don't understand that there is an underlying problem beneath the problem, because a lot of problems aren't real problems. They're just flares that distract you from the real problems. So ask yourself, what is that issue? Is it an emotional trauma? Maybe it's a scar from a previous relationship. You have to ask yourself what's going on, because it may not be what you think. Maybe it's because you have a bad attitude. You have to focus on what's in your control. And what's in your control is your attitude. Your attitude affects how you see yourself. It creates the lens through which you see the world. Once you change your attitude, you can then change your perspective. Do you see problems, or do you see opportunities? Trust me when I tell you, your attitude is a choice. It's a decision that it is a decision that you get to shape and influence. It's not something that you're born with, right? It's a lens. If your perspective is negative and we see everything through that lens, then that will impact the way that you act and the way that you think and the way that you feel. But if that lens is clear, and if that lens is bright, well, we can see ourselves, we can see others through a positive mental attitude. And that will make the difference in everything that we do. Attitude has a huge impact on everything that we do in life. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, he was involved in what happened around World War I and the concentration camps. He was in there observing men in the concentration camps, and he found out that having a positive attitude was the only thing that they couldn't take away from him. He observed men who were starving and still had a great attitude. And he would take a slice of stale bread and share it among the men. You and I are in 100% control of our attitude, and that power has the ability to have a huge impact on our circumstances. So let's recap. Adversity is about perspective. What we have to do is we have to step back and see the big picture. Don't let the situation, circumstance define who you are. You have to focus on what's in your control, and what's in your control is your attitude, because your attitude is a choice. Once you change your perspective, you can then change your attitude. I want you guys to follow me on Instagram at ms_is_ms. I hope that everyone has a great week, has a phenomenal week. I want you guys to stay safe, wear your protective gear, wear your glove, wear your mask, whatever it is that you got to wear to protect yourself. And remember that saving lives starts with you.